like I always thought, like, it's not about just being strong and lifting, right? Like Louis had a strong mind. Like in what he did, he trained everybody to have a strong mind. He used it through lifting, right? Mm-hmm. And that was the goal, was to get stronger. But I think the biggest thing was not so much the strength, that the mind to get stronger, and to never break, and to keep and to push through fucking tough stuff, and not to quit, and not to, like he put that in your fucking head. And if you didn't do it, you left, and you felt like a bitch if you didn't do it, and that's, you keep on changing yourself. Like he programmed people without even trying to program people. He had such an influence on people. His aura was like so strong, right? That when you were around that, if you were a weak person, he's seen it. Like he would look at you and he'd see that weakness, right? And he'd dig at it to either you got stronger or you got the fuck out.
Yep. Exactly.
Yep. That's a great quality though, because it made all of us mentally stronger to do more in our lives,
Not only that, it made us help each other. Like, okay, I'll give you an example. Like, there's no one to me better than when Marcus would go help me at a meet. Like, he would just wrap my knees and he'd get in your face. He knew how to get in my head. I mean, he's just a great motivator. If you had a workout with Chuck, I mean, listen, and to this day I've heard, like, unfortunately I got out of this earlier than any of these guys, but Chuck's amazing at pushing anybody to do anything, even if they don't want to, okay? I mean, he just is, okay? And you do it because not only of what he's accomplished, but he's just intense.
But Chuck's mindset is Westside.
Yeah.
Okay, his mindset was, Chuck's always was strong mentally, and I think this whole thing with doing them brought it even more out, right? You were destined for shit like this.
I mean,
but on your own, who knows where you go, right?
Exactly.
And it brought this out of you. Look, you're still
I had to have
doing
something.
shit.
You know what I mean? You got to have something.
Yeah, and even strong, tough people have to be pushed. And Lou saw that, and he saw the things, and that's why Chuck became like the base of Westside,
right?
For a good reason.
Tom's a testament too. He's had worlds.
Unbelievable.
Like, that stuff doesn't happen until you're here with the mindset, and you got to have some of that in you. I mean, but these people are intense.
But it brings you out. It brings it out of you. You can't fuck around, man.
With all the women ahead of us winning world titles, Debbie Sorensen. First time I saw her, I was like, and she deadlifted 500 pounds. I said, gosh darn, what is she? 170 pounds.
Mariah.
Mariah. My gosh.
Specimen, my
Pair of
God.
507s.
Amy.
Oh my gosh.
I mean, just think of what she went on.
So the girls.
She come in when we come in.
Right. That's correct. She was after us.
You guys remember Terry
Faye?
Terry
Byland Roll. Tom married to Tom Faye. Yeah, she was strong. Oh my gosh.
But I laugh because like if Chuck, you used to dodge Chuck after a workout because you knew it was coming. He was like, hey man, do my neck.
Oh, dude.
And I was like, motherfucker. Like, he knew he could always get me. But that was harder than a squat workout or any workout you could do. He's like, hey man, do my neck. And I'm like, oh God.
Chuck would always do his neck, but with you pushing on him, right? I mean, I think my triceps got a lot stronger just pushing on Chuck. And I was like, oh, man, I can lock my bench out now just from.
And of course, it was always just one more set. And I'm like, you'd be exhausted after that. And then, of course, when he was doing yours, we all didn't have necks like a Rottweiler. So it wasn't fair because our necks weren't like his. And he would shove you like into the ground. But I just laugh because I probably did his neck, 200 times in this gym.
I forgot about that shit.
I didn't.
His neck was so strong. I remember him telling me, like, you got to push harder. And I remember thinking,
well, that's all I got, dude.
Like, I don't have more in my arms here. And I'm like, we better get Gino or somebody over here to do this.
He's funny, though. One time they tried to, they thought it would be funny if they could contain Chuck Vogelpohl. I don't know if you were there yet, but like they said, like 4 or 5 guys were going to grab him in the gym. Like they thought that would be funny, right? So he comes in the gym and they're all like circle him. And he's like, "What's up, guys?" Like, and they all grab him like his arm. He starts kicking and flailing. Like they couldn't hold him. They could not hold him. Like there's 4 or 5 big dudes who should hold him. Could not. You remember this, obviously, right?
Yeah,
and I was just there going, "That's a bad idea," So
hey, remember you used to bring your dog in, Miyagi?
Mm-hmm.
That was your first one, right?
Yep.
That
First
dog was
bull
awesome.
terrier.
Yeah, bull terrier. Yeah, he was badass.
Yeah, he was.
Yeah.
Do you guys think you would never have reached the levels of your careers without that culture being formed when you came to the gym?
I know, you know, I would never have strong style. I don't think I would end up where I did. I don't think that gym would be there. You know, I tell people that too. I go, if I wasn't with Louis all those years, I'm not sure if this gym would be here. You know, because like there was no limit to what you could accomplish, right? And he always said it, like lifting for me carried over to other parts of my life. Just the ability. The powerlifting was so good and so unbelievable, and I love that sport so much because it never ended, right? And it ended in some gyms where they're like, okay, you squatted 700, 800, 900, 1,000, whatever, right? Man, that's awesome. Good job. Like, Louis like, well, this is not the end, it's the beginning. You know, if you squatted 1,000, well, how come you didn't squat 1,050? Let's try to get that. Let's try to get 1,100. There was no limit, right? And he was one of those guys that there was no limit to what you could do. And honestly, I don't think you realize, but for me it did. It carried over to another part of my life. Because I've been through some hard times in business, the fighting business, all that shit, right? Training there and doing that stuff. But like I thought, I ain't fucking quitting for shit. You're gonna have to kill me to make me quit, you know? And that's something that I think a lot of people have inside them, but he's the one that brings it out and lets you put it into your life. And I mean, that's how it worked for me. I wouldn't be where I'm at without him. I know for a fact.
Yep.
I modeled my whole team is in the gym is modeled, the fight team is modeled after our team that we had, all of us guys.
Yeah.
We're all together, you know, we try to, you know, grow people from scratch, and all I want the good attitude. It's like the same thing. You find yourself, like when I'm in my position, I find myself turning into this Louis-ish, you know, you could never replicate that guy, but Louis-ish person, and
Yeah.
some of those things that he did, you know, for us, you know, I think, you know, I just automatically do it for these guys, you know, but I can't see my life would be way different.
Yeah, people don't realize that team actually helps you out a lot more
Oh.
because you have all these guys that's got an eye on you. You're doing this wrong. You're doing that. A lot of guys. I've been in several. You know, my whole life in these gyms, and every single time I'm with a crew, I might have one guy that I can tell, and he actually can see, and will see it when I'm doing it wrong. Nobody else can see it, and there might be 8 guys with us.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So that team aspect, you know what I mean? They're the ones that help you.
Because Louis really, without even knowing, he taught everybody almost how to coach too a little bit. How
Without
to watch
a question.
technique and
Without
stuff
a
too, right?
question.
Because he's always saying stuff. Watch him. Watch what he does. Watch what he does. Look, see where his ass back. You know, this and that, right?
Yeah.
And you put that in your head, but not for yourself, for your teammates though, because team was so important for us, right? Our training partners, our teammates, like we all wanted everybody to do good. Like I wanted everybody to break every fucking record. Like I wanted Westside or whatever we called it back then to be the strongest, baddest motherfuckers on the face of the earth, right? I didn't care if Chuck was stronger, you were stronger. We all have our moments, right? But it was about making each other stronger, right?
Yep.
And that was fucking important. And it
Yeah.
formed a bond that we're all sitting here how many years later? We
Yeah.
still talk. I mean, Chuck comes up to the gym, Tom comes up to the gym, me and you talk all the time. Me and Tom are always talking, you know? Like that type of like intimate insanity, right?
That's
is
a good
what
way to put that.
forms friendships and bonds that should not be fucking broken.
Yeah.
You know, it's
And that was
important.
what, 85, right? Mm-hmm. For us.
Yeah.
I mean, you 85. Yeah. I mean, it's
I
just
was there a couple
crazy.
years before, I think, when I was at the
Well,
garage.
yeah,
But yeah, yep.
85 when the garage started.
When-
so
when-
it's been ever since then for
Yep.
all of us.